Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Cheyenne, and I have a special guest here named Courtney, and she has a YouTube channel. This is my first ever collab, and I'm so excited about it. And also, like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me who your best friend is, because today we're talking about friendships. So let me know who your best friend is. Comment down below. I'll tell you who mine is during this video. So, or what you think about friendships, or what advice would you give to a friend?
Boom.
Yes. So let's just jump into it, because we got some tea to spill and we got some talking to happen. Where's our drinks? A temporary break. Dirt.
Yeah, she'll edit this part out.
Nah, just listen to the beat. A lot of people beat. Okay.
I like the authenticity. How do you say the word?
Authenticity.
Yeah. I like how authentic it is.
There you go.
I like how authentic it is when you leave certain things in, because I think it's more original. It's like more genuine, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
So, friendships.
So one thing about friendships I feel like we should talk about is a couple of stories. Oh, wait, let's talk about our friendship, okay?
Yes, our friendship. So how did we meet?
So we met in high school at Fern Creek Traditional High School. Go Tigers. What is it?
Okay.
I think about, every time I say Go Tigers, I think about Dr. Barber. You remember when he was like, "Rawr"? Like,
No, I don't remember that.
you did not pay attention to the announcements.
No, I don't.
No, always. I guess you were late to school, because he does that every morning. He's like, "Go Tigers."
Yeah, I was late to school about every day.
I was just kidding.
I was being serious. I was really late to school, like every day. It seemed like.
Okay, so yeah, so that's how we met. We met at Fern Creek Traditional High School in choir. Am I correct? I was in that my sophomore year, and then she was in the one. It was her junior year. She was in concert choir. And then her senior year, she was in the choir with me. Yeah. So and that's it was my junior year. So that's how we became like super close. We made up nicknames for each other. I'm C Breezy. This is C Money. Chris Brown stole it from me. I just want to let you know ahead of time. Not coming for you, Chris, but
we had that.
we did.
Chris, you want
come on.
You want action?
Yes. No air. Okay. It's really funny. I did make a song called No Air. Then he came out with No Air with Jordan Sparks.
Yeah.
True story.
True story, you guys.
Yes.
But yeah, that's how we got to be close, and then I feel like after I graduated, we kind of drifted apart.
We did for sure.
And that was just because I think life, it wasn't because I was mad at you or you were mad at me. We've never had an argument ever. We've never been mad at each other.
That's so true.
We've never been mad at each other. I think we just kind of. I went off to college, and she was a senior still. I went off to college, and.
Yeah, and then when we see each other, I think we didn't see each other until my freshman year, sophomore year of college. Yeah, I know. I saw your mom, because her mom substituted for my class.
My mom was a substitute teacher for a while.
Yeah, so I would see her, and she'd be like, "Courtney misses you so much." So it really has a lot to do with with your mom. She was still contact.
Exactly. My mom, she's always always said that Cheyenne was such a good friend. She was like, she always asked about you and everything. So yeah, shout out to my mom for that.
Yeah,
she knew something that I didn't know.
Yeah, so who knew we'd be here 6 years later filming a YouTube video.
Both have YouTube channels and everything, so that's crazy.
Yes, your mom knew.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to her, because we love her. So yeah, that's kind of how we became friends, and then we just like we said, we grew apart, and then I feel like this year recently we just haven't gotten super close. We went did New Year's together. What else did we do?
We've done a lot together. I was at your birthday party last year.
Yeah.
And then I went to her birthday party this year.
It was a lot cooler and chiller.
We just started hanging out more. You call me all the time.
I do.
That's new for me. I was like, Cheyenne called me. Pick up the phone.
Her name was literally sitting on my phone. I'd be like, I was like, "Bro, something happened." Yeah, I guess all the good and the bad.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's because I feel like we talked about it, genuine friendships and building after high school. So I really think you're one of my only friends from high school, my close friend from high school.
Same. I don't have any friends from high school except for you. All my other friends, Odyssey, but she we went to she went to Fern Creek, but I wasn't friends with her at high school. I wasn't friends with her until
after.
Until we started working together. So. Yeah.
I definitely have a few friends that we talk to or we'll comment on each other's pictures, stuff like that, but it's not It's not like we talk to each other or like they ever text me or call me. That's not really a thing.
Yeah.
But like they'll hit me up if they want like to do a collab or something.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's no shade.
You do have friends like that at times where it's like you have certain friends that are like for certain reasons. Like I've started to realize that. Like I have friends that I can go out with, I can turn up with and have fun with. Then I have friends that I'm just like, I can just call them for advice.
Yeah.
I have friends that I can just hang out with them every now and again because I can only take so much. Like I have to love them at a distance almost, you know?
Yeah.
So I have friends for different reasons.
Yeah, and I think that's the more you grow up, is like that's what you learn. You learn that like they're like, and also like friends aren't meant to be in your life like forever either.
Yeah, that's true. Because you have friends that are just there for a season.
Yeah, and very like traditional. Like I mean, like, and for like a certain reason, like you have high school friends. Like a lot of my friends, like we talked about, like they were high school friends. Like they were school friends. They weren't like we weren't gonna grow our friendship out of
like
high school.
lifelong friends.
No.
Because you have certain friends that's just like, I've grown up and I've matured, but they kind of stayed the same. They never really matured in any way, so it's kind of like, just like a growth thing. It's not meant to be like, oh, I don't like this person. Nothing like that. It's just like, I grew up and they didn't grow up as I did, so it's just...
Yeah. Like that's not necessarily like they didn't grow up, but like they just didn't have the same like visions
or
goals or intentions. Like I think one of the best advice my parents ever gave me, even though I probably won't, like your parents probably gave you the same advice, like who you have in your circle matters. Like I've never realized that so much. Like if your friends are lazy and they're not doing their homework and they just want to goof around and they just want to go out all the time, like that's gonna reflect on you and your grades. And then you'll be like, what happened? And then like when you hang out with people that are dedicated to school, they're always in the library, like you'll see a huge rise in your grades. And you'll be like, oh, my mom and dad were right. Like I noticed that in college.
Yeah, and you can make it fun, like have like little, dates and stuff like that where y'all go study together. Like make it fun. It doesn't have to be all serious. Like, oh, I gotta go to the library today. Like you know what I mean? Like it can be fun.
Yeah, and sometimes the deepest talks. Oh yes, yeah, me too. Because I'm tired of this.
Yeah, it's cold. Really cold. Yeah. Really
so like some of the deepest talks I've had like with my friends have actually been in like the library. To be honest, like that's like some of the deepest talks. And we're like soul connections. Like also like when you're crying because of school being so hectic and crazy, and your whole life going out of whack, like just bawling in the library. That's happened a couple times.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you just like cry it out, and it's like okay. And then like somebody understands you. Like in college, there's like a unity of understanding as well.
Yeah, especially when you get into college. I feel like when you have college friends, those are your friends for life.
Yeah.
Most times, like in high school, it's like, oh, we might be friends after this, but
you never know.
Yeah, you never really know. It's just like you might, but you might not. But in college, when you make friends in college specifically, it's like, like most of the times, like you're gonna be friends with them for
you're gonna
be
a
long time.
You're gonna be bridesmaids, stuff like that. I would say like one of my closest friends, Tyree, like which is actually really cool because I introduced them and now they're best friends.
Yeah,
I love it. I mean, they're not best friends.
This video.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna watch it. Both of these videos. Like, so I love you, Tyree. Like, I feel like she also taught me like how to be a friend. Like, I love the friends that teach you something. Like, she did teach me how to be a friend and like teach me lots of things. So I think you have to also have a friend that teaches you things as well as you teach them things.
Yeah, and she's crazy because she's younger than us.
Yeah, she is. She is.
She's like a year younger than us, which doesn't mean anything. Like
she's not a whole year. She's not a whole year.
She's like a few months, maybe.
Yeah, she's a few months. Her birthday's in. I just looked this up. Her birthday's in July.
Yeah, she's because I think she mentioned that she was like a cancer.
We need to hang on, Tyree.
So do you wanna talk about maybe like the negative side of friendship?
Oh yes, let's talk about the negatives because there's a lot of. Trust me, there's a lot of negatives in friendships as well.
Yeah.
So you can start off with yours because she has a specific story, which I think not she's not gonna go full blown in the story, but like
because I want to do a story
time. So story time about this. Yeah. But it's gonna be so good when she tells it because she's told me already.
Yes.
It's good, but I would like her to touch on that because I feel like that's such a thing that happens in friendships nowadays. Like, so I'm gonna let her tell it, and I'm gonna say my side of it because it's good. It's good.
So I have a specific friend.
Yes.
And me and her were good friends for about 3 years. I wouldn't say that we were like best friends, but we were friends, like genuine, just good friends. So, so basically, long story short, we basically had a misunderstanding. We had a falling out. And she basically texted me this 2-page, essay, like this long text, just going in about me and things that she feels about me, but it was just very nasty and very negative. It was nothing good. And she basically, I felt like she always felt that way because some of the things that she said, and that text message was like, wow, you felt like this for a while. You felt like this in your heart. You showed your true colors. Because even if we did have a falling out and a misunderstanding, I feel like at this time in our lives, at this age in our lives, we can be women and we can talk about it. You can call me up and tell me like, hey, I didn't like such and such, and we can go from there. Because of the situation, I was not wrong in the situation. I was not wrong, and I told her, you know, how I felt about, you know, the situation, and, you know, I guess she didn't like it, but you could tell me that you don't like it. You don't have to be nasty about it. You don't have to.
Okay, sorry for the commercial break.
Yeah. Brief intermission because the camera cut off, so.
Yeah, I don't know where it cut off at either. Yeah. So we're just gonna hop into like the negatives, like Courtney was suggesting. I don't know if you got that or not, but we're gonna talk about the negatives in a friendship.
Yeah. You know, we could have talked about it, but not in that manner. You're not going to text me something that's that disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, on that level. So, yeah, I just had to leave her where she stood. You know, I just had to leave it alone because, you know, somebody that felt like that for a long time, you know, I feel like we're at this age where we can talk about things as you know, grown people, as women, and she just wasn't willing to do that. So
communication is key in a friendship.
Communication is key.
Yeah, and like if we have never, like we said earlier, like we've never been in an argument. But like if we did have an argument or had a disagreement or she said something I didn't like number one thing is go talk to her about it, because most times
we can figure it out.
Like sometimes they don't mean what they say, like or out of context. Like a lot of stuff is out of context.
Yeah, because especially when you're texting somebody, you don't know, you know, the like how they're saying it. You don't know their tone, so you might take it as like, oh, they're coming at me sideways, but you don't know that until you pick up the phone and call them and say like, hey, what's going on, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's very important to have like open communication with your friends. Yeah. And we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but like
bullies.
Yeah, bullies. So like I don't know how I framed this earlier, but like we're talking about like bullies. So they were saying like how like a big problem with friendships is jealousy. Like people being jealous of one another and being like wanting what they have.
Yeah, that's like a competition. Like who gets it first? Like
and like I know like in my previous relationships and friendships, like I have been like a very competitive, which I'm just a competitive person by nature. But like doesn't mean
Libras. Libras, y'all.
I never realized they're competitive yet, but we're a very competitive person. So like sometimes I'll let that competition go in my friendships, which is a bad idea. So you should not do that at all. That's a no. Like that's a toxic trait I had to learn for myself. But like that's one of the good things about friends. Like when you have a true genuine friend, like they will tell you like, hey, like why are you making this a competition?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like
they're gonna let you know like, you know, I love you, you're my sister, you're my friend, but at the end of the day, you being a little too serious.
Yes, you need to calm it down.
Yeah, you need to just calm down.
Chill a little bit. But it's always like the way you say it to that person. Because like I know somebody would be like, shut up. Like you're talking too much. Compared to like a person has to be like, hey, like you're a little too hyper right now.
Yeah,
like,
it's all about how you say it, the tone that you say it. Another thing that I wanted to say is that you have to be careful with friends that only bring up negative things about you around other people.
Oh yes, that's a word.
I've, in my past experience with friends, they when they get around certain people, it's like they change. It's like there's this total change within them, and they just bring up negative things about me, like, oh girl, you know, you remember when such and such and that, like, you know, just bringing up negative scenarios that I would rather forget. And it's like, why are you bringing up negative things about me to other people? I don't know.
But when you're not even there.
If I'm there, if I'm not there, I don't want to. You should be talking about me in a negative light in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could understand if we were having that conversation and we, you know, I was talking about my mistakes or something like that. But if you're talking negative about me around other people all the time, bringing up my mistakes and things that I've done wrong, that to me is a red flag. You have to watch out for friends like that, because I've had friends that get around people and they just air out my business. Like, I'm just on display. Like,
and like for me, I've actually made that mistake before, like talking about a friend about like not like meaning to be like negative about them. It's just like
unintentional.
It was unintentional. But like there are some people that do it intentionally, like. But you have to learn, like it's a part of it. Like you'll lose friends because of things you do, as well as losing friends of things that they do. So I don't want to say like I've never done that, because I definitely have. but it's a part of growth, and you learn, and you figure out your mistakes. That was a mistake I made. Like, you can't talk about everybody
and it's all about,
to everybody.
Right, and it's all about apologizing sometimes.
Yeah.
If you know in your heart that you have made a mistake, and you can apologize for it, and as long as it's not a habit, like if it's like a one-time thing, then you can apologize about it. I'll be like, okay, let's make up, let's go get some food.
Yes.
But if it's like a habit and it's like you keep doing it, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, sometimes like that's like a big toxic trait, like for sure. And like I just have a big mouth, so like I don't like have the big mouth, but I talk a lot, so like talking a lot gets me in trouble sometimes. Everybody can tell you that sometimes it does. I think one of like the worst for me is like when people like disrespect me on the sly. Like, and I'm like such a nice person. Like, you can ask Courtney. Like, and I will.
She is. You are so sweet. And I always tell Cheyenne, I'm like, she's so sweet, but I worry about how people are gonna like take advantage of her sometimes because of how nice she is and how like it's such a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that people were more like Cheyenne, so like nice and sweet
so
and giving.
Sweet.
But at the same time, like people like to take advantage of people like her because of how sweet and nice she is.
Yeah, and that happens so much, and I get so scared like with my friendships sometimes, like that's gonna happen. Like, am I giving too much? Like, what are they giving? What are they doing for me? Like, and it's like it has a back and forth thing. So like, also make sure you're not doing everything in the friendship, in the relationship, or whatever you're in. Like, like make sure you're not being that one person that gives your all to them and they're giving you nothing, or like giving you like a slight attention. Like, no, that's not how it works, baby girl. It's not how it works.
It's always got to be two-sided in a friendship. Like, if I'm going to do something nice for you, if I'm going to gift you something, I would like to see that reciprocated because at the end of the day, I don't want our friendship to be so one-sided that I'm just giving, and you're not giving anything in return.
Yes, so. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because like it does happen a lot, especially to me. Like I can tell you,
happen to anybody.
Yeah, it really does happen. Like especially for I'm just a naive person, so like once you realize that you're naive, you address it with yourself, and then you never do it again. Don't let them take. That is a period. Period. That's a period moment. That really is. I didn't think about that, but yeah. So I think the biggest, like, what are your takeaways? Like, what would you want to tell? Like, what is your advice to like a high schooler or middle schooler, or like even a college student that is watching this video about friendships?
I would say if you're younger, like if you're in college, I mean not in college, if you're in middle or high school and you're watching this video, I would say, for one, like, you're in school to learn. Know that. Understand that. Don't get me wrong, like, you want to make friends at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, like, you're in school to learn. Put your schoolwork first, because I feel like I made that mistake. I was not as serious as I should have been in school, and I feel like I should have focused more. Not necessarily with like just trying to keep up with, whatever it was I was trying to keep up with at the time. But I would say just focus on yourself, focus on your goals, focus on you, your mental health. If you're gonna have friends, make sure that your circle is what you want it to be. It's not about quality, it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
It's okay.
So just know that, understand that. If you have friends that, there's red flags, don't ignore them. You know what I'm saying? Do not ignore it. Address it, and if you can figure it out and fix it, move on. But if you can't,
so be it.
So be it.
So be it.
That's it, So, I mean, if you're in college, I would say, like, if you have friends, what would I give a I would just say, like, have fun in college. Because when you're in college, it's just...
Have fun and focus and go for your dreams.
Of course, like, focus, schoolwork, all that, Don't waste your time because you're paying for it in college.
That's true.
But
I've done that way too much.
Yeah, like focus. Like seriously, if you're in college, focus. Like that might be our next video. Like how to
survive college.
How to survive college 101.
I'm down for that. That'd be such a good video. Okay, comment down below if you want to see that or like this video.
Yeah, but I would say just have fun. Go to parties, meet people, be open-minded. You're gonna meet so many walks of life in college. People that you may not understand. Be open-minded. Try to understand people.
Absolutely, that's some great advice. What about me?
Yeah,
just to spark some knowledge. You're about to get hashtag shy talks. So my biggest advice to somebody younger is just to be yourself. Don't ever let somebody, like, my favorite quote is never let somebody dull your sparkle. So don't let anybody dull your sparkle. Like, I love that quote.
That's cute.
Oh, Tio's calling you. Your boyfriend. Okay, so just never let anybody dull your sparkle. Never let somebody like make you feel like you're less than because of you being who you are. I feel like I did that a lot. Like I didn't really do a lot in high school, but I definitely saw myself doing a lot more in college. So definitely just be yourself and know that you're worth every dime and you deserve whatever you go after. And go after your dreams. Like I wish I wouldn't have waited so long on YouTube. Like we both talk about that all the time. Like how like if we would have started like when we originally
been so much more successful.
Yeah, and like it would have been so much more fun. Like we would probably had all these offers, and you know we could have had brand deals right now.
Yeah,
we could be like living in LA together, like having like like having the greatest time, like living our like best 23-year-old life. And that wasn't our path right now, but it will be our path in the future.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
And
2020,
I still feel
baby.
like we're still young enough to where we have so much ahead of us.
Yes.
I try not to like think about age so much now. Because if I think about it, I get sad. I get depressed.
Oh yeah, knowing that I can't. I remember like when I turned 10, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a decade older than somebody. I was like,
I hope 10 years.
It was so, like then 20 years happened, and I was like, oh my gosh,
that's
two
another
decades.
thing. Like, go for your goals. If you want to do YouTube, do it.
Yeah, do it now. Like, don't hesitate. Like, go buy. Like, you don't even have to have a camera. You can have a laptop. Like, you can do it on your phone. Like,
That's
I film so much on my phone.
Start out.
Yeah, and like it's okay not to edit all your videos. Like there's some videos on here that I took 20 minutes to edit. Not gonna lie, but there's some videos on here that I took like 3 hours or 4 days, like 3 to 4 days to edit. Like because editing is hard. Okay,
it's your creativity and your direction, whatever you want it to be. So
yeah. So, like, my advice to college students, I really am about to graduate, so I'm so thankful, so happy about it, guys, 2020. My best advice for you guys is just to stay focused. Make sure the group of people that you have around you, like, want the best for you and are so like, loyal and fun. Like, you enjoy your college life. I don't think that, like, I enjoyed my college life enough, and that's the reason why I'm so glad I got, like, a 5th year, because I am a 5th year senior. I'm so glad I got this rest of the year to actually, like, put in and have fun, but also like do stuff that I've always wanted to do. Like I'm about to have an internship with a cool like program. I'll tell you about that later, but like that's happening. Like I'm working 2 jobs. Like even though I'm so busy, like I've never been more happier, which is crazy. And like always take time for yourself. Self-care. Be selfish. Like this is your time to be selfish. Like you are in your 20s. Be selfish. Like 100%. Don't worry about anybody else. Worry about yourself. Like I learned that a lot. That was a word from Cheyenne. Okay, and that's. And Courtney. Alright, so let's do it. We're watching the outro, okay? So, guys, thank you so much for watching. It was a blast talking to you guys about friendship and whatever else we talked about today.
Yes.
We talked about so much. So, thank you for, like, just enjoying this video and taking the time for us. Make sure you guys follow us on our socials. They'll be linked down below. I mean, they might not be linked, but they'll be put down below. Yeah. And her YouTube channel will be linked down below. So, make sure you go subscribe to her, like her, comment, you know. Tell her that you came from my video. You came from Shai's video.
Cheyenne, you keep hitting me with your hair. She's like,
I'm a hair flipper. What can I say? Yeah. That might be my thing. Let's do a hair flip. Hey, that'd be cute, kind of. Okay, so thank you so much. This is another rendition. Let me know if you guys want to do anything else you want to know about college, what you guys want to know about. But we love you. I love you. So peace out, Girl Scout.